Hello students, a very warm welcome to Meso Study Biology session. In today's class, as you can see, we will be talking about some questions from the chapter Improvement in Food Resources. Whole chapter is completed from my side, hope it is completed from your side as well. Now in today's session, we will be talking about 10 questions. Some questions are from 1 marks, 2 marks, 3 marks and the 5 marks. So I'll tell you how to attempt such type of questions. So let's start. So, as you can see, the first, second and the third, 3 questions, they are of 1 mark. So, you have to answer accordingly. Now, the question number 1 indicates name any 2 fodder crops, right? Direct question, clearly you can give answer that in this you have an example of Barsim oats, right? These crops, they are used as a fodder crops, right? Is it fine? So this was the question number 1. Let's move on to the next question. That is a question number 2. Hybridization. In this you can write one more examples like Sudan, etc. So because they are asking only 2, so I have mentioned only 2. Now here the question indicates that we have to define hybridization. So hybridization is that method in which what we do, we plan a cross in a such way so that the good character or a beneficial character present in both the parents, they get accumulate within a single organism. So that is considered as a hybridization. So what is a hybridization? Hybridization means crossing two different which different genetically organism to produce another organism having both the qualities of parents. So the good quality which is present in the parent 1, another good quality which is present in the parent 2, they get accumulate, and this process is termed as a hybridization, right? Is it fine? Is it clear? Right? Now this was a question number 2. Let's move on to the next question, that is a question number 3. So students, hope you have noted down about this definition. So let's move on to question number 3. So read this question. By the time, let me prepare this board for you. Okay. Now, what is the question number 3? Question number 3, what are genetically modified crop? So genetically modified crops are those crops in which we insert or delete genes. Why we insert gene? Because that gene is beneficial. Why we delete gene? Because that gene is not beneficial. So this is termed as a genetically modified crop. So genetically modified crops are those whose composition of genes are modified by deletion or addition with the use of biotechnology or genetic engineering. With the use of biotechnology and genetic engineering. This is considered as a genetically modified crops. So basically what we want that from our plants we should get more and more yield. Our plants, they should be pest resistant and also they should be resistant to environmental stress. So that is why we go for these genetically modified crop. In this various examples we have, okay, you don't need to write examples over here, just for your knowledge I am telling that today we have BT cotton with us, today we have BT corn, BT many brinjals etc., BT potato, tomato, these are the crops. Basically these crops, they are modified in such a way that whenever any kind of the pest, if they attack on it, they will be killed because they produce certain kind of chemical in them, which is harmful to those pests, but it is not harmful to human beings. So this was the question number 3. Let's move on to the next category, that is a question number 4, which is of 2 marks. What decide the quantity and quality of honey production in apiary, right? Now, hope you remember the session in which we have discussed about pasturage. So, pasturage. So, what is a pasturage? Pasturage, that means providing such type of plants to the bee so that they can collect more and more amount of nectar, more and more amount of pollen. This is that thing which determine the overall quality of honey, right? So, providing such type of plants, I mean to say over here, flowers to bee which can give large amount of nectar, amount of nectar and pollen, right? Second, another thing is, today we are using the exotic varieties of these bee. The reason is that we can easily reproduce them. The reason is that they can produce a large amount of honey. And the first method, as you can see, the potterage, a good quality of flower, if we provide more and more good quality of honey can be produced. Honey can be produced. Right. Let's talk about exotic species. One of the exotic species today we have is Apis mellifera. Apis mellifera. So Apis mellifera is that variety, is that you can say that species which can provide large amount of honey within a short duration of time. So what is this? This is not native species, rather than this is an exotic species whose culture is done in India, right? Because rate of reproduction is high. This is one reason. Now, another reason is that they can produce large amount of honey. Right? And they do not sting as well. So these are the certain qualities of one of exotic species, that is Apis mellifera. And we know that because of this species only the beekeeping is done, right? That within a short duration of time we can extract more and more product that is beneficial for us, right? Is it fine, students? So let's move on to the next question, question number 5. Now, as you can see, this question, that is a question number 5. In this, we have to state differences between manure and fertilizer. So the difference I have already given you in session. Now I'll tell you how to attempt such type of question. When a difference is asked, what you have to do, write in a point wise manner, right? Then only it will look good to examiner, and then only you can score good marks. So let's, on the one side you should write manure, on the another side you should write fertilizer. There are so many differences, but it is just a 2 marks question. So 4 points, they are enough. So manure, to talk about manure, manure is produced from organic substances. Produce from organic substances. On the contrary, fertilizers, they are produced in industries from inorganic substances. Right? Now the next point is that manure, they also produce nutrients, whereas a fertilizer, they also produce nutrients. The amount of nutrient which is produced by the manure is less as compared to fertilizers. So less amount of nutrient are produced, right? Whereas on the contrary, large amount of nutrients are produced, right? Is it fine? Now let's talk about some more differences. So as per the manure is considered, when we place them, when we apply them on plants, their absorption, see, actually in this the nutrients are present. Which type of nutrients? Such as nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, and they are present in this much concentration, this much amount. They can not be easily absorbed, or you can say it takes time, or plants take time in the absorption of such nutrient. Plants take time in absorption of nutrients supplied by manure, right? Whereas on the contrary, these are easily absorbed. Easily absorbed. So to talk about these manure do not cause any kind of harm to environment, right? For example, if we use any fertilizer, the chances that the biomagnification can happen, the chances that they can accumulate in nature. So whereas on the contrary, the manure do not have as such effect. So do not cause pollution. So I have given you the pollution, right? Whereas the fertilizers, they causes pollution. Right? This is the difference between manure and the fertilizer, because this is just of a 2 marks. So the 4 points, they are enough. Otherwise, in the session, I have given you in number of points, around 6 to 7 points we have discussed. So if you wish, you can write more, but as per the marks are considered, this much is enough. Right? Let's move on to the next question, that is question number 6. So question number 6 is again of 2 marks, so you have to answer accordingly. So, give different method of weed control. Okay, tell me one thing students, what do you mean by weed? Weed are unwanted plants. Unwanted plants, right? So, whenever we apply weeds or whenever weeds are there in our agricultural area along with the agricultural crop, the chances that our agricultural crop can get affected. The reason is that because there will be fight for the nutrients, right? So, for that we have to control these unwanted plants as well. Now, how we can do that? For that we will be discussing certain points. The first is use of weedicide. So, as the name indicate, weedicide, weedy means weeds, sides means to kill. So, it kills the weeds. Right? But reason is that if we try to use more and more weeds, because weeds are nothing, these are plants only, right? And even in our field, the plants are present. So, chances that they can affect our agriculture crop as well and can cause pollution. So, can cause pollution if used in excess, right? Is it fine, the use of weedicide? Another thing is can affect agricultural crop as well. Right? This is the first, that is the use of weedicide. Let's talk about the second method. Second method is mechanical method. So, students, as per the mechanical method is considered, in this what we do, we uproot these weeds by hand picking or by the use of certain machines. So, that means uprooting weeds by hand picking or by use of machines. Right? Is it fine? So, this is the second method. Let's talk about the third method. The third method, you know, that is a preventive method. So, as the name indicate, we always say preventive method as the name indicate. So, preventive, that means to say prevention of something, right? And we always know that prevention is better than cure. How we can do that? We can prepare a proper bed for our agriculture crop. At that time, there will be no space for the growth of these weeds. So, first point is proper seed bed preparation, right? Another thing is if we sow our crops timely. So, next point is timely sowing crops, right? Another thing is, as we have discussed also, with the use of intercropping method. So, the next point you know, that is intercropping. And the last point, that is with the use of crop rotation. Students, we have discussed the same in session. Why this crop rotation, why this intercropping, why is important, right? So, along with the increase in productivity, overall this weed can also be controlled by the use of intercropping and the crop rotation method. So, these are the different cropping method. In this, the third we have already studied, that is a mixed cropping. So, this was the question number 6. With this, we have completed another category. Let's talk about the third category, which is of a 3 marks question. So, this is the question number 7, which is of 3 marks. Now this question is a direct question from our notes, that what are manures. So to talk about these manure, how manure is prepared? Manure is prepared by the decomposition of organic substances. Prepared by decomposition of organic substances. Right? This is termed as a manure. The differences we have already studied. From that question, you can take up the different points as well. Now they are asking, give its qualification, its classification. So manure is of three types. Manure is prepared in agricultural farm, whereas the fertilizer is prepared in the laboratory, it is prepared in the factories. Now manure, because it is prepared in agricultural crop, there are various ways by which we can prepare, and depending upon that we have classified these manure. The first one, you know, that is considered as a compost, right? On the contrary, when this manure is prepared with the help of earthworms, so this is considered as a vermicompost. Whereas certain plants, they are normally grown and later on they are cut, they are mashed up so that they can act as a manure. So that is considered as a green manure. Right? Let's talk about the different type of manure. I am not discussing the things in detail because we have already completed the same in sessions. So first let's talk about the compost. So compost is a normal compost which occur or which is formed because of the action of microorganisms which help in decomposition of organic matter. So formed by decomposition of organic matter. Right? So what kind of organic matter I am referring over here? In this you can write one example like kitchen waste, your livestock waste, your sewage waste, right? Your fruits peel, your vegetable peels, your fallen leaves, when they are decomposed, they can produce these compost. Let's talk about the second one, which is a vermicompost. So as the name indicates, vermicompost, in this what we used to do, we take a dig or we prepare an area in which one pit is present where we keep all these organic matter along with earthworms. So in this, organic matter plus earthworm, where in pit, right? It produces vermicompost. Now listen to this very carefully. Whenever our earthworms, they feed on organic matter, in their cast, in their feces, they produce a compost which is called as a vermicompost. The vermicompost which is prepared, that has a very good amount of the nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, which is important for the growth of a plant. So this is the second one, which is a vermicompost. Let's talk about the third one, which is a green manure. Green manure. Normally in an agricultural area, we grow certain kind of crops. So crops like sunham and guar are grown, then cut and mixed with soil, So this act as a green manure because we are using a complete plant only so that we can increase the productivity of a plant, right? So this is the question number 7. This is how you have to attempt. Let's move on to the next question, that is a question number 8. Now, what are the different patterns of cropping? Let's talk about it. So, what are the different patterns of cropping or what are the different cropping system? If such type of questions occur, what will be your answer? So, this is a direct question. We have already completed the same in the sessions as well. They are asking. So, I will not go into detail. Cropping system, right? There are 3 types of cropping system which we know, which we have studied. The first one is considered as a mixed cropping. Second, you can take an example of intercropping, right? And third, that is a rotational cropping. Right. Now, the mixed cropping in this, within a single area, within a single agricultural land, we grow our crops, right? And after that, like within that area only, we do not grow not only a single plant, rather than we grow the different type of crops as well. This is considered as a mixed cropping. Examples we have already studied. Intercropping, in this, within a desired pattern, we plant our crops, like 2 rows will be of a particular crop, after that the 2 rows will be of a second crop, and like this we circulate or we do the intercropping. Now, let us talk about the rotational cropping, in which we plant a crop, right? And after the harvest, what we do, we plant another type of crop. So, what is the why it is important? The reason is that when we grow only a single type of crop in an area, like after the harvest again I will grow the same type of plant, after the harvest again I will grow the same type of plant, the chances that the nutrient which is required for that plant may get reduced. The reason is that if a single type of plant, they keep on extracting the same type of nutrient, our soil, they will not be having those nutrients, so they will be diminished, right? So that is why all of these, the cropping system, they are important. This is what you have to explain in this. I am not going into detail. Hope you can refer from our notes or from the sessions. Now, let us move on to the next question, that is the question number 9. So, question number 9 is of 5 marks. Which of the following condition will give the most benefits and why? Farmer uses high quality seeds and do not adopt irrigation and the use of fertilizers. We know that the irrigation is important. Water is important for overall increasing productivity. So, if we are not using any kind of irrigation method, or if we are not using any kind of the fertilizer, I do not think so that it will give us a benefit. Whereas the farmer, second point indicates the farmer use ordinary seeds and adopt irrigation in the use of fertilizers. Yes, the irrigation as well as the fertilizer can increase the productivity, we may get benefit. Let us talk about the third, then only we will be able to compare the 3 points. Farmers use quality seeds, okay, they are using good quality seeds. So, quality seeds, here I mean to say that all the crops, normally suppose 1000 of seeds are produced by a plant. Every seed will not grow, only a few seeds grow. Here the quality seeds means to say all these crops, all these seeds which are produced, they have an equal capability to produce a plant. So that means a quality seeds, a good quality seed, okay. That also increases the productivity. Along with that, we have adopted the irrigation methods as well. Along with that, we have used the fertilizers as well. Along with that, we have used the crop protection measures as well. So that means to say our benefit will be in the point C. So this is a correct option. So how to attempt such question? In this, you will write down that quality seeds are used. That means most of the seeds, they will grow, right? the first point. Second point is they are adopting the irrigation. So we know that the water is important. Water is absorbed by the roots, and later on it is involved in the process of photosynthesis, and photosynthesis is important for the building and for the maintenance of a plant. So that means the irrigation is also important. So let's talk about the fertilizers. Okay, they are using fertilizers, they are using inorganic nutrients. When they are placed in a soil, they can be easily absorbed by the plant. And these fertilizers, they always have important nutrients present which is important for the growth. So that means a growth will happen. Now the last, they are mentioning that they are using the crop protection measures as well. That means they are talking about which chemicals? They are talking about the pesticides, they are talking about the insecticides, they are talking about the weedicides as well. So if they are using all those things, that means our productivity will also increase. So this is how you have to answer. See, whenever, like this is my experience, so whenever I see any kind of long answer type question and the question is this much big, do not get scared. The question is 100% easy. So this is a fact. Let's move on to the next question, that is a question number 10. So again, what is genetic manipulation? How is it is useful in agricultural practices? Genetic manipulation or genetically modified crop, that is all same. So in this, what we used to do, we modify the genetic composition of a plant. Either we add something or we delete something. For example, okay, let me give you one example. Few years back, we normally uses tomato, right? And the tomato has that enzyme like polygalacturonase, that enzyme was present in them, due to which the overall shelf life reduces, that helps in softening of fruit. So shelf life was very less. Later on, what was done, a new variety was obtained with the help of genetic engineering, so that the gene which was responsible for the production of the polygalacturonase, that was suppressed. So when it was suppressed, that means that there will be no softening, that means that there will be increase in the shelf life. This is called as a genetic manipulation. Now, how is it useful in the agricultural practicing? Because they help in increasing the yield, right? We can add such type of genes so that more and more yield can be done. Now, let's talk about the next point. So, plants are pest resistant. So as I have discussed also, today we have those crops produced because of the genetic manipulation which are resistant to pest, right? When the pest, they will come and feed on such type of plant, they will die. This is called as a pest resistant. Now, today we have those crops also who do not require fertilizer, no fertilizer required. The reason is that we are using genetically modified crops. Another thing is they are resistant to environmental stress, right? For example, if suppose, just imagine a situation, water is not present in a proper amount, nutrients are not present in a proper amount. That means they can easily adapt to such kind of environmental stresses. Now, another thing is, these are those plants, we can produce those plants as well, which doesn't cause any kind of pollution. So, no pollution, right? For example, if in a plant, like this last point might be very much confusing for you. See, normally plants doesn't cause pollution. It is because of the use of fertilizers which causes pollution. They get accumulated in nature, which shows the process of biomagnification. Now, that means, it means to say, with the help of a genetic manipulation method, we can employ those type of genes so that more and more of these nutrients, they can be absorbed. Less will remain in soil. If less will remain in soil, that means the less will be transported to the next trophic level. So they will not cause any kind of biomagnification, right students? So with this we have completed the today's session, that is a 10 question completed from my side. You don't have to practice only this much, focus on more and more questions as well. In the chapter center, the questions are given, try to practice them, and if you face problem, I am here with you. So take care of yourself, and thank you so much students for watching this.